The mainstream media can't hide it anymore. Donald Trump's cognitive decline is undeniable. Even Fox News couldn't cover it up after what happened on Fox and Friends this morning. Trump called in, had such a severe meltdown that he accidentally revealed not just a secret about Putin, but about one of the Fox hosts themselves. It got so bad they had to cut him off live on air. We're going to break it all down, but first, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's start with Trump's unhinged rant about D.C.
Now I'm doing something that I'm having such fun with because I'm helping people. I've made Washington, D.C. Just an incredible place in literally 4 days. I have friends that say they're going out to dinner. Did you see what's happening with the restaurants? They're bursting. Yes, they were all closing and going bankrupt. I mean, it would be. It would be great. There's a guy named Sean Hannity. He might take a very lovely young lady that he knows very well to dinner in Washington, and they don't have to. And she's sitting right next to you, by the way.
That's right.
But
Mr. President,
I don't want to get him in trouble, so I better explain exactly. We don't want any secrets here. But
that's
the greatest relationship. I hope I'm not breaking any news. This could be the biggest. Hey, this could be the most important thing I said. But let me tell you, those are two great, Ainsley and Sean, great people. And when they go out to dinner, I don't want to see them get mugged. Now they can go out. They can hold hands. They can walk down the street. They're both superstars. I want to know who makes more money because she's got to be making a lot.
Mr. President, we're so happy for them. But on the
Donald Trump is obsessed with one thing: his billionaire friends. His presidency was never about working people. It was about giant tax cuts for the rich, $200 million ballrooms, and even a rose garden makeover so his buddies wouldn't get dirt on their shoes. Meanwhile, everyday Americans face a crisis of affordability. D.C. is a ghost town with Trump's thugs patrolling the streets, and through it all, he's still bending the knee to Putin, as he admitted right before his shocking slip about a Fox host.
Meeting yesterday when you decided to call Vladimir Putin, what was the reaction among the other people in the room, and what was President Putin's reaction to being brought into a phone call in the middle of your meeting?
Well, I think they expected it. I didn't do it in front of them. I thought that would be disrespectful to President Putin. I wouldn't do that because they have not had the warmest relations. And actually, President Putin wouldn't talk to the people from Europe. I mean, that was part of the problem. They
stepped out of the Oval Office to make the call?
They had no communication with the White House for years as people died. Years with Biden and his people. No communication. Putin told me. Years. It was years that he didn't speak to anybody from the White House. And it was a long time that he didn't speak to anybody from Europe. No, it's a fractured relationship. And when I came in, I always had, despite the Russia hoax, which truly was a very dangerous thing for our country, but despite that, I maintained a very good relationship. I mean, you saw that when he got off his plane, I got off my plane. There's a warmth there that you can't, there's a decent feeling. And it's a good thing, not a bad.
Yesterday, The Times reported that Trump abruptly left a meeting with world leaders to take a call from Putin. Bannon's podcast claimed he stayed in the meeting and took the call with others present. Now, Trump himself admits he took it alone. No surprise there. It proves again he's serving Putin, not America. On a hot mic, Trump even bragged Putin would stop the war for him because of their relationship. He's being played. And if that wasn't bad enough, Trump exposed a personal detail about Sean Hannity live on Fox. Just watch the host's face before they panicked and cut him off air.
There's a guy named Sean Hannity. He might take a very lovely young lady that he knows very well to dinner in Washington, and they don't have to. And she's sitting right next to you, by the way.
That's right.
But
Mr. President,
I don't want to get him in trouble, so I better explain exactly. We don't want any secrets here. But that's the greatest relationship. I hope I'm not breaking any news. This could be the biggest. Hey, this could be the most important thing I said. But let me tell you, those are two great, Ainsley and Sean, great people. And when they go out to dinner, I don't want to see them get mugged. Now they can go out. They can hold hands. They can walk down the street. They're both superstars. I want to know who makes more money, because she's got to be making a lot.
Mr. President, we're so happy for them. But on a serious note, Mr. President, when you have those world leaders, because this is the topic of conversation for the whole world.
Donald Trump has done a lot of disastrous interviews on Fox, but this one tops the list. In the middle of a full-blown cognitive decline, he actually exposed a Fox host's secret relationship with Sean Hannity live on air. Absolute chaos. You could see the panic on their faces as producers scrambled to cut him off. And as if that wasn't enough, Trump then went on a bizarre rant attacking Gavin Newsom out of nowhere. Total meltdown.
What happens after your presidency? How can we ensure that this conflict, that Putin doesn't inch in closer or more into the Ukraine territory? Is there anything that we can do? Can our congressmen and women pass any laws that would involve Article 5? How would that be handled?
All you can do is make sure you get a good president, not one of these wackos like in California that runs the worst state anybody's seen, or that guy in Illinois who his family threw him out of the business because he was no good. Now he's running Illinois and he wants to run for president. He's got zero chance. Maybe Newsom has a little bit of a chance. I don't know, but it's hard to believe because his record's bad. But all you can do is hope you don't get that as president. We have a great bench, as you know that. We have great talent. And J.D. and Marco and Scott Bessen's been great, and Howard. They're all, I mean, we have such superstars.
Oh, he's definitely in Trump's head. Governor Newsom's press team has been trolling him hard on social media, and Trump cannot handle it. Even Dana Perino went on Fox to say Newsom's tweets were inappropriate. The irony is almost too much. Do you not realize who the president is? Newsom is just mocking Trump by throwing his own ridiculous words back at him, like that absurd comment he made about Ukraine right here.
President, did y'all discuss any land swaps yesterday? Because we've talked a lot about the Donbass region, and what was the feeling in the room? What did the other leaders say about this?
Well, they understand. Look, everybody can play cute and this and that, but, Ukraine's going to get their life back. They're going to stop having people killed all over the place, and they're going to get a lot of land. But this was a war, and Russia is a powerful military nation, whether people like it or not. It's a powerful nation. It's a much bigger nation. It's not a war that should have been started. You don't do that. You don't take on a nation that's 10 times your size. And, military experts look, if it wasn't for the greatest military equipment, we make the greatest military equipment in the world, and we gave them, whatever. They took probably a lot of money, too. But they had tremendous, they had the Patriot missile, which is the best in the world. All the equipment, we make the best equipment in the world by far. Everyone else is like nothing. So we gave them a lot of equipment. Now, with that said, the Ukrainian soldiers were brave as hell because they're fighting a force that's much, much bigger and, in theory, much more powerful. And, it's not like they've stopped. I assume you've all seen the map. A big chunk of territory is taken, and that territory has been taken. Now, they're talking about Donbass, but Donbass right now, as you know, is 79% owned and controlled by Russia. So they understand what that means.
But, Mr. President, what is...
It's always a blame shift with Donald Trump. Always. Nothing is ever his fault. Anyone but him is responsible. It's insane. This is the same guy who promised he'd end the war in 24 hours. 24 hours. And yet not only has he failed to do it, but he hasn't even been held accountable by his own party or by the mainstream media. Instead, he just keeps screaming, keeps yelling, and somehow finds a way to blame Obama. That's where we're at.
Developers, I look at it. I said, why the heck did he do that to them? And so there's great hostility, and maybe rightfully so. But one thing was NATO. They went in. They said, we want you. We want to get Crimea back. This was at the beginning. Now, Putin, in all fairness to him, he made a good deal. He got it from Obama. But they said, we want it back, and that was not exactly well received because it was like 12 years before. That's where Russia has its submarine base, and, that's been there long before Putin. They've been there for a long time. but long before Putin. And the other thing they said is we want to be a member of NATO. Well, both of those things are impossible because, again, long before Putin, it was a no-no by Russia or the Soviet Union or anything you want to call it. Sort of a similar thing as it gets larger, but very similar. But it was always a no-no. You could not. Russia said we don't want the so-called opponent or the enemy. Let's use that term. We don't want them on our border, and they were right. They were okay, and yet they went in and they asked with the United States. They said, "Put us into NATO," and everybody knew you just can't do that. They would never have agreed to it. This is before Putin. This is long before Putin. It was just a no-no. It was something that was never going to happen. So they asked for it, and they shouldn't have asked for it because it was, very insulting thing. Now, they could have asked for many other things. But the other thing they wanted to do is getting Crimea back, and, that was given. They had built, they were expanding everything and spending a lot of money, all because Barack Hussein Obama gave it away in one of the dumbest real estate deals I've ever seen.
Is this shtick not getting a little old for anyone? Because I know I'm tired of it. The fake tough guy act, the I deserve a Nobel Peace Prize routine, for what exactly? For nothing. A whole boatload of nothing. That's all we're getting. And it's idiotic. But here's the thing. We're going to keep calling it out every single day because the more we shine a light on it, the harder it is for him to hide behind the act. And if you want to support that work, as always, hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, and if you've made it this far, drop a blue heart in the comments so I know you're with us. Until next time, I'll see you soon.